crown me, you crown me.
Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Happily Ever After. Welcome back. This
Welcome back.
week's topic is, or should I?
Yeah.
I think as of late we've obviously been just discussing when we have like arguments and our disagreements. What then would transpire would see that there's certain things or certain
Discovery.
discoveries
Yeah.
that we've carried into our marriage. We call it childhood traumas, almost. We don't have a real name for it as yet, but like just things that affect us when it comes to arguments and disagreements.
Yes, of course.
But also some things stem from when we're younger.
Yeah.
So, like for example, when we have our disagreements or fights, I tend to do what you super dislike, give the silent treatment, kind of a thing.
Let's give it a title. Childhood traumas affecting the marriage.
Okay, yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if
think,
the
yeah,
word
that-
trauma cuts it, but yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. We'll find the word.
Okay, maybe you guys can comment and let us know what that word is that we're looking for. But yes, for now we're gonna call it childhood traumas affecting
The marriage. Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to start it?
No, you already going.
Okay. So obviously, like I said, like when we have our fights or disagreements, kind of a thing.
Yes.
There's a way of which in obviously growing up where like if I was being shouted at and I learned to deal with conflict in a particular manner.
Yes.
So it's either I would get silent treatment from like my parents, for example, or and then obviously that carries through. So then I learned that okay, this is how things are done. We don't talk about it. Let's leave it like that. And obviously now when you get into your marriage or your relationship,
Yes.
it's a different kind of thing because maybe within like you prefer to talk, for example. So now we're dealing with a person who gives silent treatment versus the talker,
Yes.
kind of a thing. Like, okay, let's talk about it. And so yeah, just how to navigate around that, and obviously making those discoveries because it's not something you initially go in understanding to say, oh, okay, this is what's what.
Yeah.
You discover it along the way because obviously we're in this together, and a lot of the times you find that because people aren't discussing or talking about it,
Yeah.
it leads to relationships ending because you didn't have a conversation, or someone was afraid to talk about it, or didn't know how to talk about
Yeah.
it, kind of a thing. Because imagine you have two people who don't talk.
Yeah.
Will you ever solve the things, or is it a thing of we sweeping things under the rug?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
For me, I think it's a whole lot of childhood things just in general affecting the marriage, and causing conflict in marriages or even further. And I think we're not aware of it because, hey, this is who you've always been, kind of a
Yeah.
situation. Now, you must now go and join your life with someone else, and we come from two completely different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So like you was mentioning about the whole silent treatment part,
Yeah.
where yes, the silent treatment is how you go about things because that's how you responded to if you were being disciplined within the house. You were
Yeah.
just like, this
I
is
don't
it,
talk about it
or whatnot
anything,
or whatnot.
like,
And now for me, I call it a trauma because when I was growing up, and my parents just didn't talk. Like they would just go silent. Do you know what I mean? And so you sitting there trying to figure out what exactly is it that you did. Oh yes, you know what you've done, but you don't know how far,
Well,
how
how deep,
terribly in
yeah.
trouble you are, or whatnot. So my coping thing was always, I really would push them more to rather, can you talk? Tell me what it is that upsets you about what it is that I've done. Do you get where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? Because at the end of the day, I'm not always going to get it right. And that's how it is in our marriage. We're not always going to get it right. Like I know, small thing, but the one day our fridge didn't want to close.
God, that annoys
Like our
me so
fridge
much.
just had a build up of ice, and then it wasn't closing and whatnot. And for some odd reason, you just wouldn't say what was up. Like at some point, like you just see the man walking into the kitchen and just slamming the fridge and and I'm just like, what is really upsetting him? Do you get where I'm coming from? So those are the small things. Now we're speaking about something so small, whereas there's bigger things.
Yeah.
There's more things that are affecting because we come from this background. Now people want to take that background and bring it into this,
Marriage, yeah.
and how is that
which is always
affecting
going to
us?
be the case, because I mean, obviously, we all grow up within our particular households.
Yes.
You know, and then coming together, it's almost the combination of those two households, and obviously within that, we need to try and create our own little way of doing things.
Now I'm going to throw this. I'm really just going to throw this. I've heard, and I've had so many conversations, that it is almost like a man thing, that because this is how it was done in your household, it must now be done in this household, kind of a situation. Your mother cooks samp like this.
So
Now your wife must cook sample like this. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Like I had this even my mom and my dad one time. Like there was a whole tribe thing. Like I think, I don't know, like someone must correct me. I think right in the beginning, my dad wouldn't eat my mom's tribe and whatnot because my gran apparently made it better and whatnot, you know? And it's a thing.
Yeah, it's like even like
please,
something as
please
simple
go
as
marry your
pap. You know, something as
Guys, come on.
simple
Like,
as pap.
stop, you know?
Where it's like some include like I grew up with like vinegar in the pap.
Yes.
You know?
I'm
And then-
closer. We put salt. Now what?
So
What
yeah,
must happen?
so there's certain things like that. But obviously that's where I say it. But now you have to have those. I mean, again, it will come back to discussions and having
Thank you.
those communications around there to say, okay, cool, what's what,
And-
and also be open to say, look, I'm being into a marriage. You need to be open. Going into a marriage, you
Yeah.
know, or a relationship in general, you need to be open to new things as well, and a new way of doing things that maybe not may have worked for your parents, but doesn't work for you guys.
You know,
know?
also, you know what I've been learning also lately? Now, this is something I never shared with you.
Okay.
I've got a thing about driving.
Mm-hmm.
So the only car I've ever been comfortable in is if my dad drives the car.
Okay.
I have to share this today. Is if my dad drives the car, because I just thought my dad was the best driver. No one else drives as much. So if I step into another car and my dad's not driving, I'm a bit anxious. And you know this. I'll start driving with you. Hey, baby, did you see that? You know, kind of a
Yeah,
situation.
I used to grind my like
You know?
used to annoy me because I was like,
But this
if you
is the
wanna
thing.
drive, just drive. like
I'm now learning that it actually isn't about the driving or the fact that my dad drove the car. It's the fact that I was putting trust in someone else. That trust now needs to fall on you know, I have to take all that trust, bring it now into my household, kind of a situation. Because in all honesty, if I am thinking, would my husband, who has his children in the car, do anything stupid? Do you get where I'm coming from? But because I put all this trust on someone else,
No, but
like
look,
you trusted that your parents bought the best groceries. And that's how it is. When we started, Cross and Blackwell was your thing with mayonnaise. And I was like, dude, I really don't like Cross and Blackwell. I'm a Nola girl. Not because there's anything else. I just like the smoothness and the less tanginess of the Cross and Blackwell. But you know, because your mother bought Cross and Blackwell, we must. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like those things, and we have these conversations. And in different roles in each household. This particular parent does the groceries, whereas in my household, I want to know what ingredients I'm
cooking
working
with,
with. Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? So different things, but how are they affecting particular marriages? And people are arguing about this. Hey,
Yeah, obviously, like I said, back again, it's the combination of two households. So where's the balance? Where's the line? Where does that come in?
I think
So let's say the mayonnaise thing.
bothers me.
Let's say the mayonnaise
no,
thing.
it does because it was done more than once.
No, but I'm just
and I
saying,
kept on saying Nola,
no,
Nola.
but, yeah, fair.
You
enough,
get
fair
what
enough.
I mean?
No, I get, but what if I like crosswalk?
Then let's come together. Tell me you like Cross
So
and
do we
Blackwell.
buy both now?
But why do we need to buy both?
Okay, so
Why do you
So
like
I
Cross
need
and
to-
Blackwell?
I don't really.
Do you
know
get where I'm
that,
coming from?
You know.
But okay,
Okay.
wait. Now we're talking about items in the household and preference. That's completely different things.
Okay, true.
Do you get where I'm coming from? If you prefer all gold tomato sauce, which you do, I'm more of a wimpy tomato sauce kind of girl.
Yeah, but
It's grown on you
Okay.
now.
okay. I think maybe we'll go back like who's cooking.
But tomato sauce is tomato sauce.
Hi, but I think you. Why do you like wimpy one?
But again, I don't like that richness of the old gold. I can't do with the richness.
Okay, and I can't do the softness of wimpy.
Then let's get all gold and wimpy. Then we know when there's a hot
That's
dog.
what I'm saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Preference and actually buying items are two completely different things. That's my thing.
Okay.
There's a whole at my household we switch off lights. We switch on lights at 6 o'clock. Now in this household we must switch on lights at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Come
but that's
on.
creating your own thing. That's why I said you need to be open to creating
Yes.
what works for us at the end of the day.
I'm encouraging to that because for me it's my fellow brothers.
Why is it the guys?
Because it usually is. I don't think I need to come and put down a list to you and say, hey, babe, so I'm thinking that this is how I'm going to run the household. You know? I'm not giving you a list kind of a situation. I just do it according to what I think is good for us and this household kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Then the small things come in. Like, obviously, when we get to know each other and I ask you to go get mayonnaise, that's when we start learning the smaller
Yeah,
things.
but learn your person. I think that's where the discussions now come into play to say, okay, I don't really have an issue with mayonnaise. I really don't. I mean, but you prefer Noida. Then I'll go, okay, cool, let's do that.
That's what I'm saying. So the reason why I'm encouraging to our black brothers is because, again, I need to. You've entrusted me to handle the household. So I would like to handle the household in the manners that I think are suitable for our household. It goes back to the trust thing again. If you now have put the trust on me to handle the household, then you must trust that I'm going to make the right mayonnaise decisions about the situation.
I just thought of something actually.
What?
I was like, no, because as much as you say, like, I'm interested, and obviously we talk about groceries right now, you know, like just as something as little as groceries. It's like something that just popped in my head where it's like, okay, well, you can cook. You're a great cook.
Yes.
You know, so with certain ingredients, it's great, wonderful. But now I'm
Yes.
playing devil's advocate where what if you weren't a good cook, but you're still insisting on buying those products?
Then cook.
Oh, okay.
Please cook.
What if I can't cook?
Then, love, why are you eating my food? That's what I want to
Okay,
know.
let's
But,
scrap that.
but the other thing is that a loving husband will eat the wife's food, whether
Oh,
it is
so I'm
like
eating out
a
of love,
disaster,
not-
yes, and get full. But then again, I want to take it back now to the bigger issue of how conflict was handled in our past and growing up and whatnot. Now, for me, my conclusion of the reason to why you aren't easily talking goes back to the trust, because you don't trust me with your vulnerability at the time. You're not trusting me to handle those emotions. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because when you're younger, the truth of the matter is, if you say, no, I'm in trouble because, hey, my English teacher, your parents are like shutting you down. Your teacher's not wrong. It's you, you know?
Yeah,
Do- do-
there was always that thing like, no, you the
That's
issue.
the thing.
Yeah.
So now
yeah.
it falls back into our marriage, because now you're not trusting your wife with your emotions.
So you
You're
have
not
all those
trusting me with your
built-up
vulnerability.
walls to say,
Exactly.
you know, can I really trust you with my emotions at the end of the day?
Exactly. You know? So I think it goes back to the whole, someone said introspection. But there's something that I read this morning. You know that girl I follow? Listen,
Oh, okay.
so her mother actually was doing a whole live, and so deep, it touched me. She said, the thing about our generation, and not particularly our generation, but the issue is that people aren't illiterate because they're not reading or writing. That's not illiterate. People will become and are illiterate because they don't want to learn and they don't want to unlearn.
Yeah, but like, you see what I said at the beginning? You need to be open to creating something new in a relationship.
And that's the thing. We are willing to learn what you like, what you don't like. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to learn that if we're arguing and I keep on pushing, this man is gonna slap me. I'm joking.
I would never lay
I'm
my
joking.
hands on
No,
you.
I'm joking. But we don't want to learn that the more I push, I'm not getting through to this person. Do you know what I mean? We want to do the small things. Yeah, sure, cool. I can buy you flowers. She loves flowers. This is how we're gonna do. We want to learn how you like making love. We want to learn all the airy fairy things, but we don't want to get to the crux of the situation on how do we keep the peace in this marriage? How do we? Do you get where I'm coming from? And this thing is not a once-off thing. I know my husband.
Yeah, and it
that's
comes
it.
with different.
Stages.
Yeah, it does.
Some people call it midlife crisis. The truth of the matter is, you go to a restaurant, you discover that they cooked this pasta for like, and it's like this and this and this and this. And yes, babe, I think you can try it out. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But nah, I know the husband who liked pap. I want to cook for the husband that likes pap. But I know this because in our household, like, and we'll laugh and we'll joke about it. But oh gosh, I hope my mother doesn't kill me when I mention this.
What?
But I know how she is.
What?
Like, we'll laugh and joke about it. Like, if my mom discovers that my dad likes something, we are going to have that for like the next coming months. I remember right to the beginning, we started making like a savory pap. Like, we'll add some bacon and peppers
And pap.
yes, on top of the pap. Then you grate the cheese. It's delicious. I promise you.
You guys are wild.
It really, really is delicious.
What? Pap?
So we
What?
just
Whoa, wait.
Look, baby, you make a stir fry on the side, peppers, bacon,
So
mushrooms.
no. So it's a pap.
You make your pap normally.
Okay.
We're
And then
not
what's on
talking about
top? Wait.
Then you make your peppers, mushrooms, and bacon on the side.
Oh, on the
Then
side.
yes, then
Like-
put
like-
that topping on top of the pap. Obviously on
Oh,
a casserole
like-
dish.
Like what's
grate
that?
the
Like
cheese.
that Nando's thing.
Yes,
Oh,
but then that's got
okay.
relish. Then you
Okay.
put it in the oven.
I thought like you mix it in, like
No,
bacon mixed in pap.
no.
What's that?
You see, yeah, but I haven't advanced you, Wena, because I'm scared. Because you don't want to unlearn your Tonga way of eating pap with cabbage and gravy. That's the thing.
I have. Don't say.
I'm coming. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
That's how she discovered this when we were so much younger. I'm telling you now. Every time I'd come home from boarding school, mom would be like, "Hey girl, la papa yako kalo." You know, tattoo in China. So it was like, oh, these things. But there'd be a stage. And then dad had a liking to Woolies trifle. I'm telling you, it was always in the fridge, in the household.
Yeah, there was such a thing, but
Do you
then also
see?
like then.
We're not willing to unlearn. We don't want to unlearn things.
But like I said, go
Learn
back
and
to
unlearn.
yeah, learn and unlearn, and also understand what works for you
Mm.
might not necessarily, or what worked in your household before might not work for you guys together.
Honey.
You know, so and again, that goes back to what we said last week when we spoke about finances,
Yeah.
vision, and goals.
Okay.
What are our visions? What are our
I'm
goals?
just saying. I think we might need to have a family meeting every other week just to catch up. Are we still liking the same mayonnaise?
Oh, look, the other day you made what? Prawn pasta.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad. It had an interesting taste. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
That was amazing. My word.
It was okay. It was okay. But,
But you've got a Tonga
learned.
palate.
No.
We've discovered.
What's a Tonga palate? What's a Tonga
Pap,
palate?
cabbage, and meat and gravy.
Ah,
Even yes, your cabbage need a need change. Some days it's coleslaw, some days it's fried cabbage.
Where's the
Some days
acha?
you're not big on acha. You're
Yeah,
not.
so it can't be a Tonga palate.
But you see what I'm saying? Now today you're not big on acha. Next week you love acha. You want mango acha with garlic, chili, the whole shebang. But now I'm like, you're not big on acha. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we gotta keep it going. Like with every aspect.
I guess.
The whole childhood, leave the childhood things and learn. So difficult. That's what I liked about that statement. Because I don't think learning is as difficult as unlearning.
Yeah, true. And learning is
Pella, how old were you?
especially like if you've been in like the whole family setup for 18 years.
Yeah.
That's 18 years of unlearning certain things, and it's a lot. And to do it within a space of
A short
short
time,
period,
with
you
you
know.
and your wife, you're
Yeah.
building, and you want to get to the peak of your life. but you must unlearn all these other things.
It's,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
It's not everything. I'm not saying unlearn
learn
everything,
Yeah,
but
because
obviously,
obviously there's certain good things which form your foundation.
yes.
You know, which is like very good values to say, hey, cool, like these are um
But
proper
it's the
things.
truth.
But
You
there are certain things that you do need to adjust towards and say, okay. But then I said, like I say, what works for us?
I
You know,
agree.
and what works for each couple. So what works for us might not work for another couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Communication
But yeah, that's the center of it. Just talk.
and try. Just try. Like just
Like
try.
like
Try
I
to
mean,
trust the
like
other
I
person
mean,
with
like
your life.
I won't lie. Like I do appreciate like when we do have our disagreements, for example.
Yeah.
And I then go quiet and I do my own thing, but you feel it, but it's heavy up in here, you know. And you then come and sit me down and say, okay, what's the issue and everything, you
Yeah.
know. And I think for me, I learn a lot because I also learn more about like you to say, okay, well, I didn't like this and that,
Yeah.
or how you handled 1, 2, 3. Can we fix it? And then it also gives me more knowledge, and I go, oh, okay. And I also do introspection on myself to say, okay, I need to change 1, 2, 3. But
Yeah.
I think communication is very important. You
I
know?
also I also think you've, like I said, with the trying, I understand it's not going to be like, hey, let's jump. Now we're going to start talking. But what I have noticed with you is that if you get there and you realize you've gotten there, you'll send me a text, like a nice essay. Then at least I'm aware.
Of what's right,
Do
yeah.
you get where I'm coming from? I'm not shut down. I'm not whatever. So I commend you on that. I think that's a good try. Because trying is important. I think it's a continuous thing. Yeah. That topic went.
Yeah. Well, whatever we sum this topic up, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, like,
Subscribe.
subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
And do comment because I think, like, as you can see, we don't necessarily have title names. Maybe you guys can put
Give
down
us the right wording. Yeah.
yeah, give us the right wording, but also suggest like topics that you guys might want to talk to, even if it's topics that you want us to go back to. You know, share your stories, and maybe like you might find that whatever stories that you've gone through, we've gone through. So we're keen to talk about it
Okay.
and shed some light on that. So yeah, till next week.
Thank you. Bye.
I am who you crown me. You crown me